Hey everybody, this is Guy with Survive. Happy Friday and thank you so much for stopping by. In today's video, I wanted to clear up some misunderstandings and talk a bit about what we do, what we don't sell, why, and talk a bit about our warranty. So jumping straight into it, first we're going to talk about our warranty because that's going to drive some of the other conversation. On all the knives we sell, we offer a full lifetime warranty against any defects in workmanship or the design, materials. If you're buying one of our knives and you're using it as a knife and it fails on you, we will 100% stand behind that. So looking at that, what we sell, there seems to be some misunderstanding about not selling blems or seconds or anything like that. We most definitely sell seconds, especially before we became a manufacturer, since it's become much less of an issue. We sold lots of seconds if work fell below expectations, a little out of tolerance, things like that. We would save the best work and do what we could do with what we had at the time to hand adjust things to make it the best. And anything that wasn't worth that extra bit of effort, if it was walking us backward, we would finish out as best we could and we would sell factory seconds. That kept things moving along while we worked with our manufacturing partners, developing improvements to processes as we got things dialed into what I envisioned as a product. We know how that went, and now we're a manufacturing company. So since then, we've been figuring out exactly how to do things the best way possible before starting to ramp up and speed that up based on things we've learned. So in short, if I can believe in a blade or something and it's a little out of tolerance, but I do think that the materials, everything are good, you're gonna have a good experience as a user, I'll sell those blades as firsts or seconds. As long as I can get behind that and offer that same warranty confidently, I have no problem selling blems or things that are just having an aesthetic disadvantage but are otherwise 100% functional. What we do not sell are things where I believe the materials may have a defect that will compromise the structure of the tool and cause a less than desirable outcome for you as the user. I collect all of this information. Anytime we get a warranty issue or something, I carefully inspect it to figure out what went wrong so that we can adjust our model moving forward. If I see trends, I want to know that so that I can improve the designs or what kinds of materials we're using so that we can maintain something that's effective in here for us while maintaining really, really high standards for you guys out in the world. So you have something that's really nice looking, it performs well, it's good design, everything is just as it should be. So as long as I can stand behind that, that's something I'll sell. I believe in my heart that there's some alloy segregation or something that can change the durability standard of the blade, or we'll talk about some of these other things in another video just more concisely, but if there's something beyond some roller dirt or something got pressed into a sheet where sometimes there are voids that don't clean up, but I know what it is, that's fine. But when we get into macro segregation, carbide banding, voids down inside the material, those are oftentimes indicative of some sort of shortcoming, at least in that region of the alloy. So without having all the X-ray inspection devices and things like that, I can't know if that's superficial or it's going to continue down inside the sheet. So we do discard those. That's something I won't sell out the back door, so to speak, for any reason. One, I think it's not a good faith attempt in recouping money. If I know there's something defective with these materials, I don't want to pass it off to somebody because they might be okay with it, but the next person in line might not know. And I really don't want people hurting themselves. I always go back to a few years ago, Gerber Knives had put out this Parang machete. It was designed improperly, but it had made it, I think, too far in the whole marketing mechanism that is Gerber and all those bigger companies. So what ended up happening was those units were fielded anyway, and users were finding out they're breaking in really inconvenient ways, and blades were coming back and hitting users in the face. That's not ideal, and I think that that's a bad faith effort, just trying to maximize profitability, possibly at the expense of our end users. So I try to keep examples like that in the back of my brain to guide my personal decisions on what we're presenting to the public. So these blanks that were decarburized, no, I'm not going to sell them. I know what's up with them, and I'm still going to try and do something with them in the future when I have a few extra minutes. But right now, I'm not just trying to push some of this stuff out the door to recoup my money, because if you don't understand what's going on with it, I just don't want to set anybody up for failure. To a lesser extent, they look like our knives. So if they are modified in a way that still looks like a Survive knife, I just don't want to cause any brand confusion. It's the same reason Ford or Honda or anybody isn't selling bad airbags out the back door, or tires that aren't quite right. If I think something is unsafe, I'm not going to push it out into the world, even though that it's not good for me. I don't want to create a situation that's bad for you either. So that's not my ego or anything. I just know why I got into this, and I have tried to remain true to that as we've taken on more and more of this over the years. And I refuse to compromise. It's about how I want my product represented out in the world, and knowing that we have a standard that you can trust absolutely. If you see our knives somewhere out in the world, pick the size that is right for you, and I know it's going to perform for you because we maintain really tight quality control standards here. So some of these things are inconvenient, but the right thing to do is to handle it in-house and just develop better procedures moving forward so that we don't continue having these same types of options. So that's where you've seen us starting to branch out into the different types of steels we're going to use, just to get that reliability on our side up so that I can present our creations to you in a way that makes sense to us, and you're getting something really nice as a result for a good value. So yeah, I hope that clarifies that. We definitely sell factory seconds if they're cosmetic blemishes. We don't sell anything that I believe is deficient or is going to cause issues for a user out in the field. I know with these bigger companies, there's a planned amount of warranty issues, and I don't agree with that. I think that's a bad way to start. Just assuming you're going to have a certain percentage of warranty issues that you're going to pick up later. I don't know who's going to get that if we start lowering our standards. If you believe in our knives and you happen to get one of those percentage knives, I don't think that's a good look. And I've gotten letters and the emails, the text messages from people out in the world using these things professionally, where they rely on it. And they rely on what I'm saying about our process as being true because it's a critical application. Their life might depend on this knife. So for me, this isn't a marketing angle. This is just something I truly believe to my core. And we're doing everything that we can to make sure that we can maintain those standards using materials we can believe in and make this work for all of us. And if you look around, we are getting caught up each week, each month. Our backlog is closing, and we are getting caught up, and we're figuring out new paths forward that are more predictable from a manufacturing standpoint, so that we can use some of these fun materials and do this in a way that makes sense for everybody. So anyway, this is getting really long-winded. I've repeated myself a few times, so I'm going to cut this off for now. If you hang around, I'm just going to put some bonus footage in here to more thoroughly explain each of these more recent issues. The CrewForge V isn't a more recent issue anymore, but since I'm holding on to these materials, I want to explain to you guys, we don't have mountains of loss laying around. When I talk about these things, I do everything I can to make sure that we can craft something into something new, as long as it's going to be 100% functional. I only throw things away if I believe there's a defect or something that can't be overcome and have a good, safe tool for you guys, or it's going to cost us way more money and effort and time than it makes sense to get that back out the door. Sometimes if I have to put $200 more of effort into something, it does just make more financial sense to start over. It's just faster. If you learn something from the mistake, just make the decision that makes the most sense moving forward. So that's what we're doing. So anyway, I hope that cleared up some questions, concerns about our business practices and that aspect of things. But if there's more questions, keep asking them, and I'll try my best to answer them. Anyway, have a great day, and we'll talk to you again soon.